Subtract and simplify if possible. 2 over x minus 4 over x minus 3. Usually I start these problems by factoring the denominators. In this case, the denominators are both prime, so we can't actually factor them, but I'm still going to rewrite them with a little bit more room because we'll need that room in just a moment. Now we need to find a least common denominator here, and we know that the LCD is going to contain all of the factors from each of the denominators. In this case, one of the factors, if we look at the first denominator, is x, so we know that the LCD has to contain an x. If we look at the second denominator, there's a factor of x minus 3, so we know that the LCD also has to contain an x minus 3. And in this case, those are the only factors in either denominator. So our LCD is just going to be the product, x times x minus 3. Now, we need to rewrite the problem so that the denominators are the LCD. If we look at this first one, we've already got an x, but in addition to the x, we need an x minus 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the top and bottom by x minus 3. And once we do that, we have an equivalent fraction that has the correct denominator. In the second one, there's an x minus 3, but we need, in addition to the x minus 3, we also need an x in that denominator. So we need to multiply the top and bottom by x. Once we've done that, we now have a least common denominator and two fractions with the same LCD. So we can go ahead and do the subtraction. But before we get to that, we need to expand everything in the numerator. We need to actually multiply out this 2. We need to distribute it. So I'm going to start with that. 2 times the quantity x minus 3 is going to become 2x minus 6. And that's all over x times x minus 3. Then we have minus 4 times x is just 4x over x times x minus 3. We know that the order of the factors in the bottom doesn't matter. I'm just rewriting it so that the two of them match. And now that we have a common denominator and everything is expanded out in the numerators, we can perform the subtraction. We can take the 2x minus 6, and then from that we can subtract 4x all over x times x minus 3. If there had been multiple terms in the second numerator, we would have needed to distribute the negative, the subtraction, to both of them. But in this case, that wasn't a problem. So all we need to do next is we need to combine like terms in the top. In the top, we've got 2x minus 4x. That's going to give us a negative 2x. And also we have that negative 6 all over x times x minus 3. We want to see whether or not this simplifies, so we need to factor the numerator. We can pull out a GCF of negative 2 there, and when we do that, we're left with x plus 3 in the top. On the bottom, we have x times x minus 3. And so if we look, we almost have the same factor in the top and bottom, but the top is x plus 3, the bottom is x minus 3. They are not the same, so we can't cancel anything out. So this is our final answer. It would also be fine to write our final answer with the numerator expanded. It doesn't matter if the numerator is expanded or factored. I think it's a little bit nicer if it's factored, because this ends up being more useful later on if we need to do some more things with this expression. But either of these is correct. They're both equivalent. And either one is a good final answer.